college, and you have kids that really don't have a chance to really develop and grow on their own. The best example of that is the kid Cam Reddish that's at Duke right now.
Okay.
He's there with two other McDonald's All-Americans. All of these guys are projected to be pros, but no one is talking about Cam Reddish.
Exactly.
And he's a kid that, I think, has just as much skill set as, the next kid that's on the board. But what happens is these kids don't really get a chance to, get a full understanding of their game and develop. They just stick to their strengths when they're playing AAU ball or going to these colleges where they're forming super teams.
You know what? That's one of my pet peeves as well. I want to know your perspective on this. I think losing plays a gigantic role in the development of any athlete. And because of AAU, you're playing 5-6 games a day over a weekend, and then you don't understand the burning of losing when you and your teammates feel as if you have the most talent, and then y'all hit the floor and lose. I think that forces you to work on your game, and I think that's missing as well. To that you say what?
I say it's video games, it's more distractions, social media. It's more distractions out here for kids to focus, concentrate on their game, and want to develop. Kids are now playing games and taking the video or the footage from the actual game and going home concentrating on making a minute video for Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Rather than using that hour or that time to work on throwing left or, working on their jump shot. So it's just more distractions, and then you have more kids that say they're really committed to the game, and they'll wait until they really have to showcase themselves to put everything on the line.
Okay. Now, let's go back to your career. So you starting to take off, you're going to the 5-star camps, you're McDonald's All-American. What led to you going to Villanova? How because I'm sure at 6'10", with handle and things of that nature, with ball handling ability, jump shot, you could have gone any institution in the United States. Why did you pick Villanova?
I picked Villanova because it's close to home, and they allowed me to play the 3 spot, which I wanted to go into the NBA as a 3-man. So that was one of the major things, and also they had guys on the team that was projected to be pros, Jason Lawson and Alvin Williams. So I wanted to go see how hard they was working every day in practice to get to the point of where they was at, and then go in and figure it out. My freshman year, which I think I did a great job on. 1997 freshman National Player of the Year.
Yeah. That you were. Who was some of your favorite people to compete against at Villanova in the Big East? Because I still believe that was still at the height of the Big East era.
Yeah, well, at that time, any team. You could. The list goes on. I'm a Jersey kid, so playing against Rutgers or Seton Hall, that was always big. Going to the Garden to play against St. John's was always a big thing. And then, going to the Carrier Dome, playing against Syracuse and stuff like that. All of that kind of stuff was great. My wife went to Georgetown, so playing at Georgetown was always special for me.
Oh, okay. So, you had to show off a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just that Big East vibe, that Big East atmosphere was everything. And I wanted to be a part of that.
You know what? You just mentioned the Garden. James Harden scored 61 at the Garden the other day. Help us understand the lure of scoring big at the Garden, the whole doing your thing at the Garden. What's the how do you get caught up in that? Help us understand that.
Well, it's the world's most famous arena. If you ever been there, it's just a vibe, an atmosphere. You get as soon as you walk in the building, and to play basketball there is like playing on the stage each and every night. People always want to come in and play their best in a major market. You
Indeed.
know,
You,
so New York is just that. You know.
okay, cool. Because yeah, and then you are from the tri-state area, so it must have been even more special for you. Now you are All American. You're McDonald's All American. You killed in the Big East. You leave your freshman year. You get drafted, if I'm not mistaken, by the Nets and then traded to Philadelphia.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How does help me understand? Walk us through that process. Greatest moment of your life, then you get traded. Or did you already know?
Well, no, I didn't know. Going through that process, there was a few teams that I didn't take meetings or didn't want to draft me.
Mm-hmm.
One team in particular was Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Rick Pitino didn't see eye to eye because I didn't go to Kentucky. So I would skip out. Yeah, I skipped out on the Boston workouts. I went to the Sixers and the Nets workout numerous times, and I just thought that it would either be one of those two teams. When I got drafted by the Nets, I was excited to be home. And then once I got traded on draft day, I was excited to, have a chance to play with AI and still be kind of close to home, playing in the Philadelphia area.
Right.
So it was a win. It was a win-win situation for me either way.
Hey, would you mind talking about that Rick Pitino situation for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't want to. Some people don't want to talk about that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that this guy, is that a frequent occurrence? Whereas a coach goes to another level and holds a grudge against a player?
Well, I mean, it's business. I mean, and people are human, so some people are worse than others when it comes to those situations. But that's exactly what happened with me and Rick. Throughout my recruiting process, there was a lot of schools that I cut off. I wasn't taking any visits and stuff like that. So a lot of college coaches were getting frustrated. And then, once he took the NBA job and if that was my draft class, he flew me to Kentucky to work out for a Boston Celtics tryout.
Wow, that's awkward,
to
say the least.
Yeah, it's awkward. Right. And then during that workout, the entire time he just, made me run sprints to see if I was in shape, if I was going to just quit or whatever. But at that particular time, man, I was young and dumb, and nothing was going to stop me from pursuing my dreams. So I just went through the process and did what I had to do. But Boston was definitely a team that I didn't want to get drafted to.
I'm glad you did, man, because that's insane. I mean, I talked to Andre Rison before, and Andre Rison said even though all those numbers he was putting up in the early '80s, the late '80s, early '90s, what's his name? I can't think of the head coach at this point. Jerry Glanville refused to make him the primary receiver, and I always wondered that. I never asked any guests, but since you brought it up, it's crazy that you had an issue with a coach who eventually didn't even draft you, and it was something as petty as I didn't come to your institution. But like you said, we are dealing with human beings, and human beings have human flaws, and then you have to deal with them and acquiesce in accordance to what you do. Now, do you have a favorite coach in the NBA? Because you moved around a little bit, or a favorite coach or a favorite stop?
I got along well with all of my coaches. I actually learned a lot from all of them. I will definitely say probably George Karl, because he allowed me to use my skill set and play 1 through 5 when I was in Milwaukee. So I don't know too many guys that have played 1 through 5 throughout, a regular season and then a little bit into the playoffs as well. Outside of Magic Johnson.
Exactly.
So that was a thrill. That was a thrill to be able to play for him and be his glue guy, as he called me, playing 1 through 5. So That was a real playing for Lenny Wilkins in New York was great. And then, of course, starting off my rookie year with Larry Brown and all those kind of things. It was great.
Oh, well, just for the record, you kind of broke my heart when you turned down the more money from the Bulls and then come down and you stayed in Milwaukee. That kind of hurt me because I was a big fan. I just want to put that out there.
Well, let me being up this is Chicago based, right? Chicago based?
Yes.
All right, so let me clarify this for everybody in Chicago. First of all, shout out to everybody in Chicago. Let's go. I love Chicago.
Yeah.
That situation was taken out of context because I never committed to Chicago.
Oh.
See what happened when I was a free agent, Milwaukee was still going after me. And there was a few other teams like Chicago and Detroit going on for me. And me and BJ Armstrong at the time had the same agent.
Okay.
BJ Armstrong retires from the league. He's now the assistant general manager with the Bulls.
Okay, I remember that.
So, right. So me and him was with the same firm. I'm a free agent. He's now working as assistant GM, and he thought that the deal was going to be a done deal because we was in the same firm.
Oh, okay.
So he jumped out the window and told, the head people that, that deal was done between me and the team and yada yada. But once they traded, at that particular time, they traded Elton Brand and Ron Artest. These are guys that I grew up with.
Right.
Tyson Chandler, they was getting Tyson, but they traded these other guys that I grew up with.
Right.
So at that particular time, there was no one there in Chicago.
Right. I started at the ground, and you were already with the Bucks.
Right. So me, I wanted to be in position to win the championship because I'm coming off of 3 straight years of making a playoffs and trying to have a deep run into the playoffs with Milwaukee.
Right.
And if I was going to go to Chicago, at least I could play with some guys that I knew, or compete for a championship, or be able to make the playoffs. But everybody was out of Chicago. It was going young. They had just drafted Derrick Rose, and I just didn't want to be in a situation. So that's how that happened. And the times I was there in Chicago, I was coming off the book, and Chicago was pretty much trying to blackball me out of the league.
Wow.
They didn't want me to be around. They didn't want me to play. All due to the situation with BJ and the contract situation.
Right. BJ and Jerry Krause.
So that's why. Right. So that's why when I was there and they let me go, and I went to Zoom, that's why all that stuff had occurred.
Oh no, but you know what? I didn't mean that I was mad that you. I was disappointed because I was a Tim Thomas fan. I wanted you to go. I understand. See, I'm not even a Bulls fan anymore because I understand the foolishness that goes on down there on Madison. So trust me, I never blamed you. Right. I just blamed them. And I was like, man, Tim Thomas is coming. But because I'm a Big East guy, I'm maybe 1 or 2 years older than you, and I was a DePaul guy at the time. I was raised as a DePaul guy, so I was hoping Tim Thomas was gonna come to the Bulls. Then I could have been a Bull fan, but yeah. So it was never Tim Thomas hate.
Right. Yeah, I was there, but I wasn't really there. It was a weird experience for me as well, being a part of an NBA team that, of course, was going young and being went around for whatever reason. It was a little weird to me as well.
Yeah, I mean, like a person in my chat room just said she calls herself Chi-Town's first lady of sports. Management is the death of any player that comes to Chicago, and it's pretty much the sentiment of us here in Chicago. Trust me, you never had. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for the entire city, but trust me, most people in Chicago never blamed you. We were going, these jackasses did it again, and especially when they traded away all that talent. I mean, you traded away Elton Brand after a couple 2010 seasons, and blah blah blah. It's just I remember that time. It was the dumbest time in the history of sports. But it's Chicago sports, man. We love our teams, but the management are run by buffoons. My man, number 1 Chief Rocket Jersey Burns said he coached against you in AAU. He went to Snyder High School, 76, 77, finished